Welcome to wikitiki.com. So let's see some interesting interview questions, and these questions are asked in many exams too. My name is Venkat. I am a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. You are able to see my profile in Microsoft.com. What is a pump suction head? A pump suction head or a suction head in a pump exists when the liquid is taken from an open atmospheric tank where the liquid level is above the center line of the pump suction, commonly known as flooded suction. So automatically the pump suction will try to pick the water or any liquid from one area to the other area based on the atmospheric pressure. Let's move on to the next question, causes of overheating in a generator. So in a generator, overheating of a diesel engine can be caused by anything that decreases the efficiency of the cooling system. So it can be due to the loss of coolant or low levels of the coolant, or poor airflow through the radiators, and a defective thermostat, which are some of the few problems that could cause a diesel engine or a generator to overheat. Let's see the difference between the diesel engine and the petrol engine. So the petrol engine works on auto cycle, therefore on constant volume. Whereas the diesel engine works on the diesel cycle on constant pressure. The air and the petrol are mixed in the carburetor before they enter into the cylinder. So the fuel is fed into the cylinder by a fuel injector and is mixed with the air inside the cylinder. The petrol engine compresses a mixture of air and petrol which is ignited by an electrical spark. The diesel engine compresses only a charge of air and ignition is done by the heat of compression. Here the compression ratio is low, whereas the compression ratio is higher. The less power is produced due to lower compression ratio. Higher compression ratio, more power is produced. Petrol engine is fitted with a spark plug. It is fitted with a fuel injector. So it burns the fuel with a high volatility. So the petrol is highly volatile. Whereas here it will burn the low volatility liquid also. So diesel is a low volatile liquid. So these are all some of the differences between the petrol engine and diesel engine. Why did you choose building services industry as a field? This is one of the fantastic questions they will ask in the interview. So here are some of the different answers. So we'll get that opportunity to create something tangible and useful so that our creations will be used by others. It gives us the greatest joy. This point will make the opponent or the interviewer to understand that you are a kind of a service-oriented guy. There are some other answers like it's the broadest branch of engineering, so your career options are very open even after you graduate. We can go to defense, civil services, high-end R&D, manufacturing, design, energy sector, management, entrepreneurship, and masters, either ME or MS. So we got a very good career option if you choose this building service industry. So there are some other answers we can give it for this question. Easy to imagine and visualize whatever you learn in this. It is really practical. So our work will be massive machines, majestic in nature, to tiny precision instruments, micro and nano devices. We can go with this kind of answers also. Variety to be learned, you will learn how to design and make things ranging from a safety pin to a spacecraft. It's a man's world, but there are few out of the ordinary and brainy girls who take up these courses and love it. So very few are girls here. These are some of the interesting answers we can provide it for the question, why did you choose the building service industry as a field? I got some other answers also. On payment, you will be getting paid handsomely after, at least if you are a fresher. If you are not a fresher and gaining a few years of experience, you'll get paid handsomely. This is the final answer, and it's really a different one. Developing a range of skills, you'll be learning the work of a machine operator, machinist, a smith, a foundry man, a mechanic, a plant manager, a researcher, and a policy maker. Let's move on to the different question. What is the difference between scavenging and supercharging? So scavenging is the process of flushing out the burnt gases. Flushing out the burnt gases from the engine cylinder by introducing the fresh air in the cylinder before the exhaust stroke ends. That's scavenging. Whereas supercharging is the process of supplying higher masses of air and by compressing the atmospheric pressure. That's referred to as supercharging. You're able to see a high pressure of air is injected into the cylinder to compress the atmospheric air. Now let's see the factors which affect the factor of safety selection. Here are some of the factors. Applied load reliability, limit of stresses that's localized, loss of property and life in case of failures. This is a very important factor you should understand on safety selection. So properties of the material which is used for the machine, what kind of material you are using it, the extent to which the assumptions can be solved, how much it will extend, compress or something like that, everything to be solved. The intrinsic property over the service time period, how it will sustain, everything we need to manipulate for the factor of safety selection. Let's see some of the rules while designing casting. So fillets must be avoided for frequent use. That's the first one. Avoid the abrupt changes. It should not change. Casting must be very simple because simplicity is the only key. Ribs and ribs used for stiffening. So you should have the ribs over here. You should have a ribs and everything. The curved shapes should be used to develop the stress handling. So it should be a curved shape to avoid stress handling. These are all some of the rules which we have to follow for castings. What is the assumptions which was made in simple theory of bending? That's the question. The assumptions are, beam is an homogeneous material which is uniform density. It should be uniform density, strength, and also having isotropic. So the beam is straight and unstressed while initial stage. That's the second assumption. So the beam can contract longitudinally and expand laterally. It was very large well compared with the cross-sectional dimension of the beam. This one, it should be very large when compared to the cross-sectional dimension of the beam. These are some of the assumptions we have to make it out for the theory of bending. Now let's see briefly about the different types of springs. Springs are classified into various types. They are, the first one is helical springs. In the springs, there are two types further. One is compression helical spring and the other one is a tension helical spring. And the next one is conical and volute springs. The other one is torsion springs. Here is the leaf springs. Here is the disc springs. And there are some additional springs which is called a special purpose springs. These are different types of springs available. Define Hess law. This is one of the very important questions. In case of generating heat between an object in emissions, Hess law states that the heat evolved or absorbed in a chemical process is the same whether the process takes place in one or in several steps. This is also known as a law of constant heat summation. Let's see the final question. List out the various types of fits and explain it. There are three types of fits available. One is clearance fit, the second one is interference fit, the third one is transition fit. This category is characterized by the occurrence of, so first one is clearance fit. It is categorized by the occurrence of clearance between the two mating parts, 1 and 2 mating parts. The variation between the minimum size of the hole and the maximum size of the shaft is known as minimum clearance. Whereas maximum clearance, which will have the difference between maximum size of the hole and minimum size of the shaft. So that's your clearance fit. If you talk about the interference fit, so here is the one which is connected to other one. In this, the mating parts are predefined so that interference between them always occurs. The final one is transition fit. In this fit, its mating parts size is limited to allow clearance. You should not have exact fitting, so it may break it. You can see the greenish one. That's your transition fit. That's it. We got lots and lots of videos on our WikiTiki channel. You can go to WikiTiki interview tips in youtube.com to see our interview related videos. For school related stuff is WikiTiki School, and for technology it's WikiTiki Technology Tutorials. For health it's WikiTiki Health and Entertainment. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to get regular update from us. And apart from this, if you have any questions, comments or any doubts, you can post it so that our expert team will answer it. Here is our website and our Facebook details. Thank you from wikitiki.com.